All right, so I got to put you on the spot here. We just talked about, heard from Sharon saying that this might not be the right investment for all retail investors, but we kind of say that as a blanket group. There's kind of different groups. There's accredited investors who, are supposed to be more sophisticated and a bit more wealthy, and there's just, everybody else. When we're talking about private market investments, how do you view their suitability?
Well, up until now, retail investors who are accredited have been able to buy private investments and have been doing that in their retirement accounts for probably 30 years. I think with this new announcement, what comes next is the opportunity for non-accredited investors to get into the space.
All right. And you actually have some things coming up, I believe, that you're trying to talk on that. I know you don't want to talk too much about that right now. Why don't we go to your site? So what's going on in the private markets right now? What are we seeing? We do use your site to kind of track some of the moves, more of the trends, as opposed to tick by tick like we would with a stock. What are you seeing? Are there more private market shares being made available? Are these coming as secondary shares from employees who want to sell the shares? Where are they coming from?
There's activity really everywhere in the market right now. 2025 has seen a lot of IPO activity. So the overall interest in the space has gotten pretty significant. AI is a very hot space. I think what is emerging, though, is a set of products that are more fund-based. Today, most investors are buying single-name stocks. And I think what's coming is a product line that's more focused on retail, that are funds.
We're showing the SpaceX chart just now. We just were just a second ago. We can bring it back up. When we see that big jump in price, what does that signify? Does that signify more investor interest in the company? Does that signify that the actual valuation of the company's gone up, so the private market shares are higher? How does it all work?
So there's a number of factors that drive the price movement. SpaceX, as an example, has recently announced that they're doing a large tender. And so that valuation of that will drive the market up.
Okay. When we're looking at the private markets, they are illiquid, all right? So, I mean, it doesn't have the same kind of movement. Your site actually provides some liquidity for people that want to sell the shares. When people putting more shares on there, does that lower the price? Or is there so much interest and so much, appetite to get into the private markets that the prices just keep going higher?
Well, liquidity is steadily increasing overall, but it's really sector specific. The AI sector is up over 60% this year, so a lot of interest there is driving price up. But it's really on a name-by-name basis.
All right. You're also trying to work it out so that more investors can get involved. So I went on your site. We were talking about this during the commercial break. On your site, you really spell out. If you don't have the minimum investment, by the way, is $100,000 for your site. If you don't have it, you say people can put their money together, but they might have to create an LLC or some type of legal entity to do it. Is that really the holy grail for you as well? We're talking about these alternative asset managers, the idea of just regular Joes like myself and maybe our friends and our family putting our money together and really getting into the private markets.
Yeah, so we just announced the acquisition of Liquidity Capital Management. This is going to bring a whole new set of products to the market that are fund structures. And this really lines up with this new news around 401k. So what's coming later this year are index funds to the private market. So you can get exposure to 60 names in one fund.
Like a triple Qs for private companies?
That's correct.
That's fascinating.
That's correct.
So would the companies themselves say, I want to be in this private fund, or do you just decide you have the private market shares yourself? Because you're an exchange. You don't actually hold the shares, do you?
Well, we have a custodian, so we can hold people's accounts and hold the individual shares. But what this will do, this will not only open up access to potentially unaccredited investors, but it will also be a source of capital for the companies themselves that are listed in these funds.